There we go. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, y'all. Well, we're trying. It was
That was funny.
Yeah.
Wait till everybody comes.
We should have practiced and tried it out down here. The last time we did YouTube was like last year.
Well,
summer last year?
I don't think we were live doing anything on YouTube, but we did do. We uploaded videos.
Yes, yes.
A live video.
So this was like a lot of fun.
We tried to do a live sales.
Yes,
and
yes.
were we able
That's
to
the
get
only one we got.
comments?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't remember either, Brady. So that's the problem. We
We're not that
just shifted over. We're not ready for that quite yet. Plus, we have, we just have service issues. We're not unlimited. We were supposed to be by December the 20th. So that's why we were all psyched for all this stuff. But what ended up happening is now that company has said, well, something happened. A satellite didn't hit. So it's Valentine's Day. So isn't that sweet? You can remember Valentine's Day. Call us back. Call you back. So in the meantime, we still pay $100 a month for basically not a lot of anything. We're just waiting. They got us in there. They got us paying for it.
Well, yes, the channels haven't opened up yet, so that's kind of.
That's right. So, but we're
gonna do with what we've got. What we got.
That's right. And if nothing
allowed.
else, we've learned perseverance. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. So, anyways, I'm looking for it on mine. So there she is. There's me, because see, it wasn't even on my wall. How mean. Okay, I'm assuming. Did you get it to the group, or do I need to go to the group?
I didn't. I wasn't able to share it.
I'm going to go to the group. I'm going to put it in the group.
know. I'm allowed to tag people, I guess. I can comment at everyone.
Please.
And then whoever's available can come join. Okay. Whew.
I'm going to chat. Oh, look, I get to get to here.
Hell no, it's going to take too long. Look at you. Whoever's available, come join us.
That's
come
right.
hang out. We got some messages to talk, and we were to share, not talk.
Yeah.
But also wanted to allow some questions, not messages. But who knows? Whatever's going to come through will.
Exactly.
I did write down a few things, and I'm also going to take a few notes because things might just come in for me to go type on. But
Absolutely.
I know that there's going to be, y'all also send me some emojis and everything because sometimes the comments don't work. Hi, Eli. Okay, I already see some comments, but go ahead and, yes, throw up any emojis, try to comment so I can make sure that this is working. We won't have the opportunity to answer, to speak back to you guys because, we're going to be just letting that stuff just flow. So we won't be able to see and read all your comments.
I might be able to look at some. I'll just have to wait and see what's come up because
Yeah, but you don't want to be reading the entire time while you're trying to get the message out.
No,
so
that's
the other thing. You don't want to disrupt the information. You want to get it all out, and then if we have time at the end, we would like to take some questions from you guys, whichever ones that we feel called to answer while we have some time today. But I hope y'all are doing well. Hope everybody is handling, what's going on in the world right now, in your own personal world, because we all live in our own worlds right now.
Yes.
So, but for you, anybody who finds themselves struggling, we hope that these videos, these mornings with us, kind of help give you some understanding, some introspection, and power and strength to reclaim your own, abilities to manifest and create the life and the world that you want to exist in. Hi, Karen. Good morning.
Yes, that's who I saw there just then was Karen. So we've been really talking about a lot of the different things that are going on out there. Y'all know personally that I have been like not to be found. I come on Facebook just a little bit right now to post a few things, and like if I'm called to do something, whatever, I will post and try to do what I can. But I've been very, very sick. And it was really funny because when I sat down and recognized how long I'd been sick, it'd been months and months. And it really came to a full head, I guess, this past week. And talking to Brandy and looking over things and continuing the work that I was doing, some revelations came forward, and I realized I was in a cave. I was like, hiding myself away and just kind of tucking in, going in that introspection. And it was really, really amazing because at first it was really scary. I've had a lot of hard times, right? When you think about going inside and doing some healing, what looking inside looks like. And it's really not looking outside. It's really...
Oh, well, okay, let me give you this explanation for those of us who a lot of the times like to exist in the spirit realm, and most people go about their lives existing in their minds and not really existing in their physical body. We are spending most of our lives in our heads.
Yes.
And listening to all that chatter, whether it's your own chatters coming up from the past, your own fears and anxieties, your own negative self-talk, that critic, or the social programming and trying to attain this goal that society standards have set for us all to live up to.
It's a program. It is the constant programming, right?
So
constant.
It's always on, and when you finally slow down, this is where we're so out of balance, as we do not embrace the divine feminine and taking that time to pause, to enjoy the body, to rest the body, to heal the body. And so winter is, it is a natural rhythm for us to go within, to rest the body. It's the hibernation time. So we're all called to slow down and get into the body, and this is where we process. You reprocess, you integrate lessons from the past to bring forward so that you can begin this new cycle of spring, fully engaged in the present moment. So when you're in this winter season, you do have things that come up to the surface for you to reprocess, relook through, heal from. And so that's why a lot of people get sick, or they're called back to spirit at this time, because this is when you are in your body, you're feeling. And a lot of people do not engage in feeling. They are numbing themselves, and that's kind of what the prescription drugs do. We are not medical professionals, but in my opinion, they are only treating the symptom,
not the root cause.
Exactly, not the cause. And healing is many layers. It is not just the physical body. It is your emotional body, your mental wellness, and your spiritual belief system. All plays into an effect of your physical health. And also your ancestral lineage and everything, because those are all in your DNA. So whatever your parents and your grandparents and their grandparents suffered through, those are belief systems that are within the DNA, that are programs that need to be rooted out, cleared, transmuted, healed, shifted. Last week we were talking about those generational curses and how there's children who are born into these families that are heavily programmed with these, limited beliefs, systems and ways that they love, ways that they view love. And so there are children who are born into those families to create the change, to expand the viewpoint of what love looks like, and to shift those limited beliefs and, creating generations beyond that are more loving and that legacy of light and not legacy of trauma.
Yes.
So Mom has been going through she's been in her cave, and she's been looking through things that are no longer serving her, or false beliefs. And so everybody is called to be doing that, especially this year. We're going to see a lot of that. So although the outside world may be looking like it's all chaotic and it's
gloom and doom
worse,
and it's just going to explode,
but that is looking at a fearful mindset and a way of viewing change. And the ego, the mind, is always afraid of change because it likes to be in control. And when we don't have control, we're afraid of what's going to happen. And that's because we're functioning from the ego. But when you're in the body, which is the mother, and you're connected to that, you're always going to be protected, provided for. And having that faith in that is what's going to help you going on the path forward. Because if you're feeding fear, you're gonna experience that fear.
Yes, and it will be usually that voice that's in there going, you knew that was going to happen. You shouldn't have did that.
That's the programming, right? And so it takes a lot of dedication and commitment to shifting those mindsets and shifting that belief system, because they've been embedded and rooted in your DNA and in the physical body even.
Yes.
Because they have worked their way down through the layers of the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and now it's sitting in the physical body. Therefore, now you are creating sickness. Let me explain it in another way of, density and light. I don't know how scientific a lot of people are, but when you think of light and the different spectrums of light, you have the purple, which is very, I think it travels faster because there's more space. It's not as heavy. And the red spectrum is the most densest. It's the heaviest, slowest moving energy. And it's what most of the world, this 3D is made of, is these atoms that are compacted together.
Flesh and blood, that's what they call it. It is matter.
Right.
It is the densest.
The densest form. It's not, I wouldn't say it's the densest, but it's the third densest, right? And so all these atoms are compressed and they appear to be solid, but it is not. Everything is constantly moving. But when you have these lower vibrational emotions, lower vibrational thoughts, that are based on fear, the lower spectrum of light, anger, rage, jealousy, the guilt, the shame, anything that doesn't make you feel joy and happy, those are the lower spectrum. And so they are heavier, denser energies. And when they are sitting within the physical body, the way that they compress and compress and compress, so they are physically now in the physical body, but they didn't originate in the body. I mean, in the DNA, I guess they did on a cellular level, but they were continuous thoughts, they were continuous feelings, and they would come up as memories in your mind and flashes to show you this is a problem. This is a fear. This is associated with a negative belief system. This is what needs healing. There's something to shift here, right? So then if you're not doing the work, then it just gets compressed and stuffed in until it creates a physical disease or a physical ailment. And it starts off as like pain in the body, and to give you an alarm, the body is trying to alarm you that there's something wrong. And memory is stored in the physical body. It's stored in the DNA. And like if you've been in a car accident or something, you can get these phantom feelings.
Excuse me just a minute, Brandy. I'm sorry, y'all. There's a Tommy Bryan, and I want you all to look at this post that's on here. This one right here is a predator. This is one of the Nigerian scammers, the bots and stuff that come onto all of our lives and stuff when any of us are doing this publicly. And I want y'all to look at that name, and I want you to really take and think about that and block that person's name. You just write that down and block it, because that shouldn't go any damn further than this. Thank you, Brandy. Block Tommy Bryan.
Bye.
So I want y'all to see those when they come up on y'all's walls and stuff.
Oh,
and people are
hi.
commenting.
I really love what you're saying.
What that is somebody who has now come in and they're trying to circumvent your message. They're trying to get people thinking about other things and off key, off kilter.
Or get your money.
Yeah, we're not going to let anybody
scammers.
do that to our field of energy and our work and stuff like that. So anytime I see them, I'm going to call them out on camera.
Let's go sage.
Well, show yourself. My thing is, I am so intent on my divine feminine and how women in our world have always
the suppression of it. And all aspects of it, and that's the body represents the feminine temple. It is everything we see in this reality. The earth, everything that's manifest represents the divine feminine.
Exactly.
And the earth that we exist on is a spirit that has agreed to allow us to live on her and to ascend with her. And we just pollute the oceans, we pollute the air, we make products that are chemical and
that kill us, not only her, but they kill
our
it's
bodies.
Like slow suicide. What is that? I saw people talking about we've got to get rid of the plastic, and I saw It was a political thing, and the guy's like going, how do we get rid of the plastic? You're drinking out of a plastic straw. The point isn't what we're doing. It's what can we do to change? How can we change this? Yes, these have been conveniences that moved into our awareness. I did not develop plastic, but I have used it. Okay, that doesn't mean that I don't want a better product. I would love a better product. It's kind of hard to drink out of a glass straw, right? But I would. I would do whatever it took to change things. And I think the people who aren't willing to do that, they're just not part of the culture that I want to be part of. I want to be a part of a culture of change. I want to see the world healed. I want to be in a place where, that people feel like we do most of the time on the Oasis. When we sit up here and we're looking out, we don't see everything that they flash on TV, flash in your little TikToks, flash in the reels, and all these little miniature things that are just little snippets of stuff that you have to go research yourself to get all of the information. And some of it now, thanks to all the new stuff with the program, we're not aware of everything, and that how much of it has been fake and is meant to keep us here where we're at, which is divided and weak.
And sick.
Constantly.
Well, if you're not going to use your divine abilities to create and to manifest and to create the world that you want to exist in, well, they're going to use your energy. They're going to use your mind for their programming.
Absolutely.
And if you believe that our world is ran by corruption, then that is what we're going to create. We're going to help lending to what they want us to create, instead of us taking our power back and realizing that through our own belief system, through our own emotions about what we believe, we will create the world that we all want to exist in and see thrive. And if we all believe that there's more of us than there is of them, and that we're creating a world of community where we're living in a rhythm and a cycle with Mother Earth, and we're giving back as much as we're taking. If we're going to take from her, we're going to give back to her.
Yep.
And it's a relationship that is in balance. And the balance has to start with us, and it has to begin within. So taking the time to, me and Mom are going to be hosting a class actually at a festival.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Because I don't want to speak too much on what we're going to be teaching about here, because I would really like some people who want to meet me, Mom, in person, if you're able to, to come join us here. And it's in northern Georgia.
We're hitting on some points that are really important to us right now, and that we've really been kind of able to talk about, because mostly, like I said, I have not been like an equal partner to Brandy right this minute as far as talking with her and going over this stuff, but I've been an equal partner in that I'm doing my work on myself so that I'm clear and I'm ready to go whenever Spirit calls us to do our job.
Right, because when you go to your healer or to your mentor, your shaman, you want them to be, walking what they're teaching, and so if we're teaching this, is because we have applied this ourselves and have gained the wisdom from it to be able to share it with you guys. And it is an ongoing process.
That's right.
We wouldn't be here if we still didn't have lessons to learn or a mission to fulfill. So we're all here for a purpose and a reason, and not a lot of us know and understand what that purpose and reason is. And you won't get that clarity until you go in there and start filtering out those belief systems that you have about yourself or about the world around you, because the world around you is a reflection of what you believe.
Yes.
And when you start filtering out those belief systems and questioning that voice that's in there, or that feeling that you have, that trigger that comes up, there's a reason for those triggers. There's a reason why you feel that way. And it's not always necessarily the moment that's in front of you.
Right.
That moment is triggering something from the past that you experienced, and it's reminding you of, hey, this is that same feeling that I have. And it's for you to take the mind and go into the heart and look to see what it is. To understand it, to elevate it. It's an elevated emotional maturity is what you're trying to achieve. Most of the world are not emotionally mature at all. Some people
they blocked
it mentally mature.
It's so hard to be emotionally mature when they block you from your full emotions. Think about what emotions people express most commonly, and that's laughter, anger, fear, sadness, anxiety. Just everything that is a fear, all those things, yes, unlovable. All those ways that we feel most of them are poor. They're all sad, right? They keep it a lower vibration. They keep you thinking that way. They only allow you to express it, and only certain ones can express it. And you can't express it through tears. You can't, because that means you're weak, right? That's what the programming has convinced the world, that tears are inappropriate for anything. You can't cry if you've mangled your arm, you chopped off your finger, you can't cry if you are sad over something that you've seen in this world that hurts your heart. That is ridiculous, and that is a program that we all have to work so hard to break out of teaching that to our children, break out of beating ourselves up when we are emotional, and trying to pull it back in, and apologizing for having an emotion. Because if you don't learn how to work with the emotion, if you don't learn how to express it correctly, then you will be immature with your emotions. You will be out of control on them. And you won't be able to rein in what it is that's really going on within your emotional system.
A tool that I can give y'all when you're trying to understand your emotions is to assign the emotion, that feeling, assign it a name. What is this feeling that I'm experiencing right now? Is this anger and I need to set boundaries? Or is this jealousy because I don't feel that I'm good enough and I'm worthy enough, or that I have my own inner beauty within that naturally expresses itself in its own unique way? Or am I expressing, guilt? Am I expressing, what is this feeling? What I mean? Unworthiness. What is it? Identify first what it is. And then when you can do that, then you can follow it back to the first time you ever felt that way. And that's where the initial programming came in, was to alarm you. Because your body's an alarm system. It's going to tell you and alarm you, because it's coming from the ego of, it's reactive, you know what I mean? This feeling came in and I didn't like this feeling. It made me feel this way, like I needed to hide, or that there was something to be afraid of. And so it's like an alarm system that goes off to get you to react and respond, so that you're not feeling that again. And what you want to do is enter there. This is showing me something. I need to go to this place, and use fear as a messenger, as a guide, to say, this is what I need to go look at again. And give it that higher perspective, an adult viewpoint, so I can elevate this emotion, so it's a matured emotion. It's not one that's reacting.
Yes, because we talked about that the last time. It's respond without reacting, right? That reacting is the same action over and over. So when you notice you keep doing the same
pattern.
thing over and over, then trace back what got you to that place, and what was it? What did it feel like? And why did it feel like that? And trace that word back, because that's the thing, is that even down to the lowest form of the word, right? And then figuring out what was that. And Brandy had some really good insight on some things, because, you get down there and you go, well, I felt guilt and shame. And so how do you now transmute that, change that around? I mean, what is it that you're trying to do? What are you trying to gain instead of guilt and shame? And it, for me, those two things were representative of innocence. And so then that became a whole, y'all think, trying to regain innocence, that has been a really in-depth, enlightening, powerful understanding that has happened. And this is some of the teachings we'll be doing over the course of the year. It's just some of the things that, when these different things come up, what they could mean, and how you can regain these things that you lost or thought you never had,
don't
or don't have. Yes.
Or this, when we're incarnating, you forget all of who you are, the essence of your being, and all your soul wisdom, your ancient wisdom. And so you start with this like blank slate, and when you come in, the things that you experience as a child are going to be the things that create these programmings. And as an adult, you're still running on those tapes and that programming. And if you're just going about your day unconscious, then you're just following all societal's programming of getting up, going to work, getting your kids here and there, come home, and it's the same mundane things. And most of us, we want a purpose. We want to do something that we know is going to create change and effect for the world in a better way. We want to, live a life of meaning. And if you're not connecting to yourself and knowing who you are and understanding your own self, where you're in control over your mind and your reactions and your responses, and you're not seeing clearly, it is because you haven't gotten in there and done some of your own work. And we all need to be doing our best to do our own healing,
Yes.
to engage and understand and learn ourselves, because other people who could be waiting on us to level up in order for them to level up. And so if we're all not doing our part,
Yes.
then we're keeping everybody else, you know, in the same class. So think of it as that way. If you're not learning
Ready to
and passing
graduate
these
to the next
tests,
level, yes.
exactly, you're going to stay in the same semester, or you're staying in the same class, you know what I mean? And there's other people who are ready to move up on the ladder, but they need a spot to open up. And so it requires us all doing our best to get in there and understand and learn ourselves and learn our responses and our reactions and our triggers, to understand them and cleanse them, and then transmute them and bring in the other aspect that
Yes.
you're actually trying to achieve by experiencing what you don't prefer, so that you can then bring in what it is you do want to prefer, because you're the one who's creating the world that you exist in by those beliefs and by those reactions to what you view outside of you.
So with that said, that's just a kind of your guides talking, right? Our guides working through us to bring you, you know, the insights and stuff that we're having right this minute.
Oh, think of this. Okay, so here's a tree analysis for you. The tree of life can't produce like fruit that's going to sustain you if it has rotten roots. You know, so think of it that way. If your roots and your foundation aren't stable and they're not nurtured and nourishing, like, you're not going to produce fruit that, you know, people are going to want to, you know, eat from or partake in or
yes.
be around, because
They don't want to grow that tree either.
Right. Ugh, it smells. No. It's rotten. I don't know. You know, it won't be able to bear fruit, and
Right.
new seeds
Right.
won't be able to germinate and grow to their full potential, because you haven't done the foundational work to then produce those, that healthy, sustainable tree of life that then produces a legacy of children who aren't experiencing the same things that you went through as a child.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully some of this, I'll swipe it
Oh, okay.
away.
Never mind. Okay.
I think there's like a disturb. I don't want to mess.
Do
with
not
it, but
disturb it. Yeah, we're not going to touch
I'll do
nothing
that
else
for
right
next
now.
time.
Because we love y'all. We had a slow start. We're really sorry. But we're all also excited and happy because we were laughing all the way through it going, oh my God, why does this happen every time we try to do it a little bit different? Because we did not practice. We just went, spur of the moment. Let's try this. Mm.
Well, we did it on when we were doing a live show, so I just assumed that we were able to do it.
Yeah. I know, but we were practicing so long before we did that. We had some trial and error before, but so we thought we could just snap right into it. But evidently, we're down also at the house too, rather than being at the shop. So I think that may have something to do with, like we said, our internet's kind of dodgy down here. But so got an announcement after we talked to you guys last time, because we were bringing it up to you guys that we were going to be considering moving out, maybe doing some seminars and stuff like this, and us, you know, coming in different directions. And so Jesse Seibert reached out to us about a festival that was going on in North Georgia. It's above Atlanta, so it's closer to Tennessee than it is
Red
us.
Mountain National Park.
Yes.
I think was the name of it.
They're calling it a pagan festival, but it's open for
the
anybody.
Magic of Life Festival.
Yes. So, and we love that. I mean, that's awesome, because we ourselves, you know, we don't
label ourselves as anything. We're not going to say we're pagan, but we do understand that system of living in cycles with Mother Earth. So I do, a part of my soul resonates with that, as that is a true way of living.
Well, there are many things that are called pagan, even Native American belief systems. It's just, if you look up what the word means and everything, you'll understand more. But there's always some negative connotations about it. It really is just
living in the cycles with the land.
That's right. Just being in nature. That's
and
it.
Honoring the seasons and the cycles that we all go through. And there's so much symbolism in nature around us, because it is a reflection of our soul. So, but yes.
And nature's a way better program. Way better.
Well, it helps us be in the present moment, which is where you have control.
Yeah.
and the power to create. But we're going to be there June 1st.
June 1st, yeah.
June 1st is when we're going to be there. And we were thinking of getting a hotel and offering by scheduled appointment to do services with anybody who wants to meet me and Mom. If you wanted to get a reading, I don't mind doing chakra balancing on that day. It's not going to be our in-depth retreat that we do. But I wouldn't mind doing a 30-minute rebalancing, cleansing and rebalancing chakra, laying on the table, energy therapy, or doing a reading, whatever it is that you wanted to book for that day. Me and Mom would offer those at the hotel we're going to be at.
Yes, and that will be a lot of fun. And then you could even go, if you wanted to, you could go to the festival during the day, enjoy that, enjoy being out in nature, walking around. You don't have to actually interact with anything in the festival. Just be at the park if you want to. But that's where we're going to be speaking.
Yeah, so you would be able to teaching a class there.
After that, it becomes the private, and stuff like that. And so,
but we were thinking of going out to eat afterwards or whatever, so we could have, time
social
to spend social time. Mm-hmm. We have some other members we're going to be meeting up there already. We already have a group that we're going to be meeting. So anybody else who's around locally or wants to go to that festival,
or come down, because by then it's half a year away. Not quite, right? 4 or 5 months away. There. You can get ready for it, and I don't believe it's very much to get into the park. I don't think they charge a lot.
Yeah, it's a national forest or a national park or whatever, and it's it's got water surrounding it. It's a really beautiful park that I saw, and we're going to be teaching under the pavilion, so it's going to be very shaded, cool, breezy. It's not going to be too hot. They even have a beach.
Yeah, there's a beach there. It just has a lot of neat stuff. I mean, for me, I was like, I didn't even know that was there. I had no idea.
Yeah, and for us, it's like a 2.5-hour drive up north. So it is going to be cooler in that area too. It'll be feeling like spring.
That's the
because
hope.
It will be spring, but fixing to be, a few weeks before summer.
Yeah,
but it was divinely guided. It just dropped out of thin air, and then we got even more confirmation through some of our clients and readings that we've been doing too.
So we're really it's being guided, right? So now we may have an understanding more of where we're headed now, and that's exciting for us because we feel like we are being given a new direction, like new directives, additional things now, and that it's time to do it, sisters and brothers. It's time to do it. It's time for us to really speak our truths and not be afraid, and to find ways to connect with one another far closer than to find ways to divide, and to be in these groups where you can't associate or can't talk to or can't have just, you can have opposing views without hating one another. That's ridiculous. That's what makes it exciting to be in the world, is different perspectives. And you should be able to change your mind too. You should be able to think your way.
Well, everything is set up to make you look outside of yourself, right? And not to, not that it begins within, because everything starts within. And when you start shifting in here, then your reflection out here starts to shift as well. And some of that we'll be discussing as part of the class, and everything that we're going to be teaching on is how to restore your divine feminine and divine masculine energies to a healthy state where you can have that inner child healing and connection and that unity within. So I'm not sure if there's anything else I wanted to discuss other than, there's been serious solar flares that have been happening. I mean, it is just steady the past 3 days. I have the app on my phone, and last night we even got one at 3:33. I was like, what? And I woke up just before, right after that happened, but I got a tone at 3:39 and looked that up. So, but there has been nothing but solar flares, and the more we're getting that energy, maybe I'll discuss that for everybody. So because we're shifting and Earth is ascending, we're all kind of being forced to ascend with her. And during the ascension process, Earth is traveling through the photon belt, which if you look at the galaxy, the Milky Way, say it's spiraling like this, there is this band that goes around the galaxy like this, and it's a proton. It's proton light band is the only way I can explain it, but it looks like a tire. And as we are moving through it, it is this accelerated light. They're called neutrinos, and it moves faster than the speed of light. So Earth is being bombarded with all of that intensity, and so it's making time kind of feel like it's being sped up, because it actually really is. Time is how we chart the dismantling of matter, right? The disintegrating of matter by time.
Here's where she's going into the science.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So just to give you it could be like,
just watch your hands.
The example was boiling water. So if you have a pot of water sitting on top of an open flame, and then you increase the flame to be bigger than the pot, like let's say 20 times bigger, then the amount of water that's in there is going to boil faster, because you've increased the amount of flame, right? And so even though water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, because the flame is intense, it's going to boil faster and evaporate faster. So that's what's happening on the planet, is time is speeding up, because we're passing through this photon belt, and these neutrinos of light are bombarding the planet Earth. So whereas it used to be 24 hours of time, we're now experiencing 18 hours in a day. So that's why it feels like time is flying by, because it literally is flying by. And then our sun is also... So you're saying, okay, 24 hours in a day, but that's not 24 hours of light. Nope.
We have usually...
Not even 24 hours. It's not 24 hours a day in a cycle anymore. We're no longer 24 hours.
Now we're just straight 18
hours per day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as the sun is gearing up, the sun is hitting our planet as well. So it's breaking down the magnetosphere that surrounds Earth, which then affects our energy field too, because it's messing with the magnetism, and the poles on the sun are beginning to flip, like thinking of it as you have the North Pole and the South Pole, and when we have these solar flares, the two poles are connecting together, and it creates this eruption. And so the more that these poles are hitting and smacking against each other, and they're doing it so much, they're revving up, and it's eventually going to get faster and faster and faster until, boom, they just swap positions, and the South Pole now becomes the North Pole, and the North Pole becomes the South Pole.
You're talking about the Earth.
This is what's happening on the sun. The sun is doing this. The sun is reaching what they call solar maximum.
New information for me. Oh, I did hear that. Okay, all right. So that's what that means.
Yes, solar maximum means that the poles are going to flip on the sun. And so what's happening on Earth is she's actually going to be shifting back into alignment, which is where her true north is. And true north means it's restoring balance back on planet Earth, because we're so out of balance. We're so in this masculine energy that the feminine is trying to be restored on planet Earth.
How many of y'all are just busting out in cold sweats out of nowhere? Like they keep driving me crazy, and I'm not going through menopause or anything like that. This is just like, I walked around here this morning. Right now, I'm covered up. I've got things on my feet. I was running around here out in the wind. I'm going, I am dying. I'm melting. So that is all part of these solar flares. All this stuff coming up is like pushing
the light
yes.
is going to bring up the shadow, because it casts the light on the shadow. So if there's things that are in there that need to be transformed, and you have no clue what's in your energy field, if you're going out in public, your energy field exchanges with everything you walk past. And so you pick up debris. You also have programs that are in there, or heavy negative energies that are in there from your programs or your emotions and everything. And so when you are going through lessons, and you're going into the cave, you're going within to process them, like you're burning off these densities by exposing the light to it, like kind of like a vampire. You're like, breaking them up and dislodging them.
Think about
from
that,
being in the
because
aura.
it is something that is constantly bringing you down. It sucks your energy. It really does take you down to a place that you are weaker. So a vampire thinks appropriate. That's very good.
It's draining the energy. It's draining your life force. And so what I can also recommend when you have those, because I'll get them in the middle of the night, just this intense heat that comes over me, and I'll invoke the violet flame to kind of help break up and burn away these dense energies, because we're not only doing it for now in this physical present body, but we're also doing it for generations behind us and our old past lives too. So things that are located and dislodged within the DNA, they're no longer going to be of use. They're parts of our personality or life traits, things that have happened to us in past lives that we are still living out to this day that we aren't even aware of yet. But they're burning up all of those, and it's all coming to the light to be dissolved so that we can all exist in the present moment. We're no longer looking in the past for reference to the future. It'll just be us existing in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, that's when you're in peace. You have that sense of freedom, that sense of knowing and trust and faith. And that's where we're going to be getting to in the golden age, is because we're all going to be living in the present. We're not living in a fear of the future, and we're not living in the past with regret and sadness and pain.
So I can't tell. It doesn't look like there's a lot of y'all in here. So
the metrics aren't going to show us exactly who is in here either.
Well, if does anybody have a question or anything for us? I mean, we've got a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Let's get some questions.
Yes. And so if y'all had anything that you wanted to ask about or know about, and if you're interested in meeting with us at the festival in June, please get in touch with Brandy and let us know, what you're looking for. Because those will all be by appointment. Okay, there is no, we won't have any other free time except just what's going on the day of the festival, and then when we go out to eat together, we can all go as a group and go socialize there. But other than that, it'll be by appointment only.
Yeah. So if I'm here and I love you. Hey Jennifer.
Hey Jennifer, we
love you
too. All y'all who come in and see this, even if you're not part of the live.
Yeah, take what resonates, please.
That's right.
Because this isn't for everybody.
And you may not be at this place. You may pass this place. But this is just where we are trying to give part of the information that we have been given in such a way that a larger group can hear it, understand it, and take what resonates with them.
Hey, Amanda.
But if it really means something to you or you need more clarity, then that would be something where we go into a different place, because we can't hit every level of where everybody is just in an hour every other
you
week,
can always
like this.
book an appointment with me and Mom, because we do readings, and we do classes and counseling, anything that you would like to know more of or get into that, and we have the ability to help you learn or understand.
I don't like the term life coach, but we kind of are guides, because I am your cheerleader. I'd love to be your cheerleader.
Well, there's so many terms out there, and spiritual coach, therapist, mentor.
Those are all just labels.
Shaman.
Yes. And so we kind of like, I'm all that.
Whatever you want.
That's right. Whatever suits you, because for me, I don't have a specific label on myself. It's just whatever comes to me and I'm compelled to share it, that's what I do.
Well, it's the only way we can relate to the collective or get some, because sometimes you have to have a label in order for your mind to process and understand it. So, and I understand a lot of people have to function from that place because it's what makes them feel safe and makes sense.
Yes. See you, Amanda. Huzzah! I'm so disappointed. I don't know what to do about my show. I don't know if I could watch it again. But anyways, we love y'all, and we hope that that our words have found you in places that you
or
needed.
If there's a topic that y'all would like us to discuss, and we don't mind taking some suggestions either. And if it's one that we aren't teaching a class about, we don't mind having those discussions here, but there are going to be some other discussions we're going to be talking about. I don't know if it might be the next show, but, Mom's got a lot of wisdom in here that she needs to bring forth as part of her mission, because each of us have similar paths, but we each have different missions. And so I want her truth to be spoken on what she knows and her wisdom, and me be her backup dancer over here. You're like, yeah, get him, Mommy.
Well, mine has a lot to do with us as women, right? And how I have seen what happened to me as a child, what I thought about as a child, and then as I've gotten older, and the more things that I have
on her studies,
yes, and been part of, and in my seeking and searching and finding my true path, the things that I found along the way that made me look at things differently and hear things differently and begin to have a different point of view, a different perspective. And so I'm going to bring some of those questions that I had
some
forward.
of those taboo topics.
That's right,
and,
it is.
You know,
That's
it might annoy some people, and our intention isn't that.
No.
Our intention is always to bring enlightenment and understanding of what our personal truth has been through our findings, our studies, our, you know, channeled messages,
Yes.
our intuitive understandings. And so it's not going to resonate for everybody. But if we lose some friends, hopefully not friends, but followers or people who resonate with us.
Whatever's supposed to happen will
rubs
happen.
them the
That's
wrong
where
way.
we're at. We're at a place where we cannot
hide in
preach
the
and
shadows.
continue saying to be your authentic self and speak your truth if we don't do the same.
Right.
Even when especially when it's really hard topics and really, you know.
Or it might seem out of the box.
Yes. I love the out of the box thinkers, right? Because even if you say something that's controversial, it's not something that you need to attack somebody. It is something that you listen to their point of view. You listen to what they're exactly saying and think for a little bit and decide why you need to have an immediate reaction. Would only be fear, right? That's the only time you need to immediately respond. If not, then listen to it. And if you are afraid, why? Why are you afraid? It goes right back.
Right,
So,
exactly. Because you should be able to have conversations if you have different points of view. And it's only to grow your perception.
That's all.
To grow your understanding and try to, can you assimilate any of their truth as a truth for you? You know, instead of limiting yourself and saying, no, this is it. This is the end all be all. And then I know all, you know what I mean? Because
Exactly.
we don't know
all.
But there's truth in everything. And so, and for somebody else, that is their truth. And some of it is because of their own programming and what they believe. So, you know, and understanding that everybody's in different places and we all have different understandings based on our childhood upbringing.
Absolutely.
And so, but that's what makes this place so beautiful is that we can all exist here, but also be living in our own realities. A shared earth, but and one where you can share your experiences with others so that everybody knows that there are other worlds that can exist and yours isn't the only one, and that we are all unique.
Yes.
And the beauty of being unique means that all the flowers out there are all beautiful, not just one.
Yeah, understand this. If there was only supposed to be one kind, it'd be one flower, one tree, one grass,
We don't look like copies.
one girl, one boy, one everywhere, right? It would just be ones. And it would just be replicas of all those ones. But we're not. We're not even two. We're many. We're limitless, infinite, on, infinity.
Right, because Source Creator is all. So there isn't anything that isn't of Source, even the dark.
Absolutely.
It is all, you know. So there is a reason, there's a purpose for it, and everything's evolving, everything's learning, everything's growing. So what was in, nothing is sitting still.
No.
Only your perception of it. So
We just want to help all of us women, us women in particular, okay? And I'm not ruling out men. I love them. I have a husband
well, they've
that I
been
adore,
wounded
sons.
too,
Yes,
and they're
it's,
running on their false programs of what society's standards say a
Correct.
man needs to be.
And that's part of because of what's happened to women and what women are allowed to now bring to their sons, right? That is, it has to change. There has to be some now flip, okay, of how it has happened.
That's right. You see it all happening, you know, as above, so below. It is happening. We're going to see the shift. The women are being called to rise into our power. We're the ones who are going to bring the change. We're going to bring the healing because we're no longer going to be submissive.
Exactly.
And just going with, yeah, okay, the man says this, you know what I mean? The man says this. And who the hell put them in charge? You know what I mean? We did because we allowed it. And now we're saying, no. I'm going to do my own healing. I'm going to heal myself. So that way I can be a voice for all these other women.
Absolutely.
And we can all rise up together. And we can take our place back to bring that balance to be equals.
Yes.
Right?
It's the injustice that we're here to correct. We are here to correct the injustices, and the only way we can do that is to bring it to your awareness. It's to bring the things that we've seen that have been given to us to notice to you, and then when you yourself see things, then you can bring it forth. Then it starts to be that chain
taking
of
your
events.
power
That's
back,
right.
because if they want you to feed the fear of, oh, the world is just nothing but chaos, everybody's out for themselves, or look at all these murders today, look at all these shootings today, these tragedies, and we're all, not we're all, but a lot of people are feeding that stream of energy of looking down, lowering the vibration of thinking that world is the world that we exist in, instead of shifting it to look at all these people who are saving the planet, look at all these people who are helping one another, look at all these people who are doing these great deeds. And if that was the intention and the focus was to be looking at all the good in the world, our world would be that world.
Exactly.
Because we're all lending and focusing that energy, and that's where we females can take that power back, and the males, if you start doing it too, it just builds this stream of energy where we're feeding that reality instead of the one that they want us focusing on, because everything is meant to feed fear and tragedy and those lower vibrations, and it's on us to shift our gaze.
So now you've just heard two women who know what their calling is and know that they have to do something and are doing it. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm taking up a sword. Brandy's not going to grab a gun. We are going to just use our voices. That's it.
Use our voices, understand
and the truth that we see it as we see it, right? Doesn't have to be yours. It's the truth as we see it.
Right, exactly. And if everybody would, take your power back and realize that you do have control, you can be a part of the change and the shift and the creation of this new community on Earth that we all want to be building and creating and existing on, instead of existing in the doom and gloom. We want to go, oh no, you know what, because yes, there is this, but there's also this, and applying that other perspective on things. You okay? What? You get a Charlie horse?
Yeah, all of a sudden, and I don't know which way to go when it's your hamstring.
Ooh, I hate that.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh.
Left leg?
This right here. It's like just all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because the bar is right there, and that it puts I have no
certain amount of pressure on
there's no fat on these things back here. That's just my little tiny muscle and some.
That's the thing. Pay attention to your words, everybody, because your words do create things.
They do.
And they'll also clue you in on your beliefs too. And when you can hear yourself talk and hear the things that you're saying, then become an observer of that, because that'll also help you create internal shifts by going, "Ooh, did you hear what I just said?"
Yes.
Another way to, do you see what I'm saying? How we all use our third eye to create images in our mind. You create a picture.
And how many women say that versus men, right? How many women do you hear? We all say, do you see what I'm saying?
Do you see what I'm saying?
And you could say it when you're angry. You could say it and other people, yeah.
I see it because you're forming this picture in your mind. You're creating the story. And it's from your own understanding of it. So you can shift at any moment. It just requires your effort and your dedication. So when you're on the healing path and you have something that comes up that says, this is a pattern, I've been here before, I've experienced the same relationship over and over again, is to show you that you keep doing the same thing.
Yes.
And you need to shift something. And sometimes it's just subtle shifts. It doesn't have to be this whole entire thing, because sometimes if you go from instead of taking baby steps, you go from here to here, you know what I mean? You will skip steps along the way.
And you won't have your tools. Yeah,
you won't have gathered what you need to gather in the process. And so it will come back up, and it just shows you that there's a little bit more work to be done in this area. You need to go collect a little bit more data. There's a little more healing that needs to be done, and it just requires your love, your nurturing, and your attention to those moments, right? Just to love yourself a little more. And in winter, since we're still sitting in that energy of, nurturing yourself, loving yourself, we're cleansing any of the old things that aren't going to be serving us going forward, where we start planting our seeds. So right now is you're going through that internal review, life review of what needs to come forward and what do I need to leave behind. And in leaving it behind, I want to lay it to rest. So what tools can I extract from this experience, whether it's last year and the things that projects that didn't go good,
right,
and things that did go good, and what can I bring forward, what do I need to drop and let go of, and that's a good tool for everybody right now. You still have a few more weeks of winter, even though we're going to have an early spring, but it still doesn't shift the cycle.
No.
We're still in winter, so make sure you're resting, you're nurturing yourself. Use the rain to help symbolize on cleansing. Thank you, Mother Earth, for this cleansing, renewing energy, because what it is nurturing the soil. It's preparing the soil. So we are all called to be doing that right now, preparing the soil within so that it is more nurturing, it is sustainable to hold the seeds of our intentions, of our light, that's going to grow hopefully to this big tree of life that will sustain fruit and bear fruit for the harvest of the year, right?
Yep. So Jennifer wrote in here, she's really sweet. She said, I love it. Helps those that are quiet and feel alone to know that they are not alone. We all have our baggage and our hard times, but helps to uplift each other and know you are not the only one going through things. Social media tends to distort our perception because most people only post the good things and don't talk about the hard things. Great to have a space without judgment. Thank you, Dawn. That's exactly what we want to create, is that a space where, for me, I'm at a place where I am willing to take on some of those challenges. And I've found that when people walk out of my life because of my belief system, that my gifts are not meant for them. I don't hold them in any place where I don't care about them or I don't love them. It's just that my gifts are not meant for them. And that I'm just maybe one of the mustard seeds that it takes before people can see more truth about themselves or are willing to look deeper into things that have changed their lives. So, and that's how we move on in this world. And that's how Brainy and I are creating this different space. Hopefully it's going to be a sacred space for many, and that soon we don't need to even talk about it being a sacred space, but it's all the sacred space now. It's all health sacred, and understanding all that becomes that, that's the divinity, I think. That is the divinity that is all of us, right? Is when we all realize.
Well, creating that within your own being, that being in this body is safe. It is safe to feel, and it is safe to acknowledge that I do have emotions, and I am safe to be vulnerable with those I choose to be vulnerable with, because only those people are meant to be in my life. If you're vulnerable with somebody and they just kind of want to use it as a weapon against you or hurt you in some kind of way or throw it up in your face, they're not meant to be in your life at this point. They might just, they're not going to value your heart and your truth. So you got to be a little bit selective on those people. And the only way you will know is through your experiences of the opposite of that, of people who don't value your heart and use your wisdom or your love against you. So, which we have experienced that ourselves. Betrayal is one of the hardest things to experience, especially from somebody that you love and you believe loves you. And if you can't be open and discussing like the areas of relationships that don't work, but being vulnerable enough to express it and say, hey, can we talk? This hurts my feelings or whatever. And that's you trying to keep them in your life. And if they're not willing to negotiate boundaries and understand boundaries and then understand your pain, then, what's the relationship even for? So if we're not helping each other grow and learn and heal, then what are you getting out of the relationship? I feel like you're just using me or, taking advantage of my soul.
You're not meant to suffer every day.
No. And we're not meant to have relationships that don't honor and respect each other.
That's
so
right.
if you have somebody who walks away because of your belief system, then, what kind of a friendship is that? We should be able to have different beliefs and still have mutual respect, And my belief isn't always going to be your belief because my truths are based on my experiences. And so is yours. And
We're not identical.
Right. We've had different experiences, and my beliefs are different than her beliefs too, but we have similar interests that,
Yes.
you know,
We
we
can-
relate with,
Yes.
you know?
And if you don't relate with it, it's fine. It really is fine. But it just doesn't have to be a fight. It's not meant to be negative. It's not meant to be divisive. It's meant pick and choose. Just pick and choose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I can see that. I can understand that, you know, that works for you, and I can see how you can apply that, you know, and I don't need your approval, you know.
A lot of it's just the words. We're all speaking the similar language. We just have allowed certain words to create this separation and judgment and decisions that aren't fair. You know, it's again the injustice, and so we don't want to keep harping on it and everything like that. We want y'all to have a super great day.
Enjoy the rest of the week.
Yes, yes, and know that we're cheering you on. There are crappy things that happen to us. We do not put it out there a whole lot because we know, just so you know, Jennifer, that when you write stuff down, right, it now is a visual. It's now right there. It's not just that you've spoken it or said it. It's written. It's there. And a lot of times on social media, you know, what we would do is we'd look at it, read it, and we'd probably burn it or bury it, okay, when we're having these things, because we don't want that. That's not what we want our lives to be about.
We're not trying to spread drama or spread any of that kind of stuff.
No.
And, you know, we handle it with as much, you know, maturity and understanding and compassion and understanding where people are at.
Yes.
We're all at different degrees of understanding and awakening. And so not to take things personally,
right.
You know, that is not a reflection of me. That's a reflection of them. And it's just how they're viewing the world. And so my truth isn't going to resonate with you. And some people might get triggered by me expressing that truth or
yes.
her expressing her truth. But why is it triggering you? There's
right.
a reason. There's something that that it has pulled something up for you to examine and understand. So,
well, I think that's enough preparation for what's coming. We just know that it's going to be something we've never done. And we're just trying to
next week.
Yes,
not next week, the week after.
2 weeks. Yeah, get y'all understanding that is going to be part of this process as we go through. There will be things that we speak on that are out there, okay,
Woo-hoo!
And then there'll be things that may be close to home. There may be things that have to do a lot with relationships and pain and taboo subjects. There, that's what we're doing. We're trying to just kind of like
expose the system a little bit.
Yeah, and open your minds up some to digging deeper than just what's on the surface of something, right? Mm-hmm. The surface of what you heard, and then seeing it on Facebook or social media and going, oh my God, I'm going to share that. And it turns out to be something that's a false thing. And in our political stuff that's going on right now in this country and in the world and all the different things that have went on since COVID and everything, it's really difficult to navigate, and we understand that. It's hard for us to just kind of pull that curtain away and see that funny guy that's back there running all the machines. So, and that's what's happening, and we're gonna start peeking behind that curtain.
Feed feeders, don't be a fear feeder.
Do not be a fear feeder. Do not.
That's right.
So, all right, lovies.
Well, y'all have a great day. Thank y'all so much for watching and hanging out with us this morning.
And those of y'all that are coming to the live on Thursday, it's going to be beautiful. John's making some things for Brandy, and we have done some really cool things. I don't know what I'm going to be up for yet, but we'll see. We'll just have a good time to see Thursday night.
Yeah. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. Lots of love, sending to everybody, and just do your best to shift your perception at all times and try to find the light in the situation, right?
Just trying to see how big our heads are.
Why? How big our heads are.
We just get a cat, put the cat up there, and he's gigantic. I don't know. Silly. Yes. Anyways.
Our heads.
Love you guys so very much.
Yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, loves.